I am going to close this section by building in the remove item from cart functionality. So if we go into inspect and if we click on this press icon, we are not actually removing the item. We are just cancelling it out. So let's finish this up by building in our constants, actions and reducers. So we'll go into our constants in cart constants. We already have our cart remove item, so we don't need to build one there, so we can just import that. And in our cart reducers, we just want to import this new constants. So we'll do cart remove item and we want to use this to build out a new cache. So let's do this just under just above our default case. So we have our cart add item and we will build out our cart remove item. So we'll say case cart remove item and let's just do return. And in here what we want to do is we'll first use a spread operator for the state. So we'll say state and we want to filter out the value in cart items. So to do this, we are going to use the filter method. So we are going to do state dot cart items and we are going to use dot filter on that. And as we are mapping through this, so we'll set the value to x and then we'll use the arrow function. So we want to check if x dot product, which is the product id, is not equal to our action dot payload. So in our payload in this call right here, we are just going to send an id. So action dot payload is going to be the id of the product that we want to remove. So filter is just going to keep every product that doesn't match this id. Now if it does find an id that matches, it's going to remove that id and we are going to get back a new array. So this will give us an array with that item removed and we can update cart items. So that's pretty simple and we'll save that and we'll go into action. So inside of our cart actions, we just need to add in a new section, a new action. So we'll import cart remove. So cart remove item and we want to use this constant in our new action. So we'll create that action. We'll export it right away. And this is going to be called remove from cart and we are going to make this an arrow function. And in our arrow function, as we close it out, we just want to pass in an id and then we also want to create a function within a function. So we will pass in two more parameters. We will close out this function and in here we are going to use dispatch and we are also going to use get state. So just like we did in our add to cart, we have get state right here and we are going to need access to that entire state. So now down here, all we need to do is just set dispatch and we are going to set the type. So we'll create the object type will be remove item. So we will do cart, then remove item, and for the payload all we need to do is pass in the id. So payload and will pass in this id right here. So we'll set that to id, and as we dispatch this action, it's going to remove that item that has this id from our cart. And the last thing we want to do with this action is actually update our local storage. So just like we did here, I'm just going to copy this. This is not going to change. All we are going to do is use get state. We are going to take our entire state for our cart and our cart items, and we are going to access that update cart items and then stringify this. So the last thing we want to do is use this action so we can close this out, and we are going to go into screens, and in cart screen we want to use this action. So we'll just do remove from cart, and we want to dispatch this action inside of our remove from cart handler. So we pass in the id here, and all we need to do is set dispatch, and we already imported dispatch and configure this earlier, so we can just do remove from cart, and we just want to pass in the id. So now when we click on this, we are actually going to remove an item from our cart. It's going to update our store and our state, and actually update our local storage too. So let's go ahead and let's check this out. So if I click on one of these, it's actually going to remove an item from a cart. Now we can add new items. So let's add in this phone. Let's find the product. I guess that's in stock. So we'll add a few of these. And if we remove an item, so we'll go into inspect. If we remove an item, we can go into our Redux dev tools, and let's check out our state. So we see we have two items in our cart, and as we click on this, it is going to update our state. And then we also set up our local storage. So we go into application, and in local storage we have one item left. So we can see that right here. If we click on this, it's actually removing our items, and our cart now is officially being updated by removing items. So that's it for this video. We completed our add to cart, update cart, and remove functionality for cart specific only. So in the next section, we are going to start adding in our authentication, so we can log in, we can register a user, and go beyond.